Oh.
Running out of fuel.
What is going on? What a dismal start for their championship leader.
There's no way that they're not. Oh.
Nate goes through. This is it. Finishing on the podium every single race. Oh, as we see Shattered Compass, DRS open, stretching their legs now, those Ferraris. The horses are galloping.
Wow. Sent it from outfield.
You can see Fortunes.
Oh.
Hello and welcome. This is Mutiny Motorsport Season 13. Lucky for one, as we're off to Silverstone for round 4 of the calendar, where we have the previous winners up on screen. And you can see no one's really dominated over the history of this track. So let's see how qualifying went.
All right, we got Brochin up here with a 128.9, followed by TTR, Shattered Compass, NDF, Nate Delta, Debug, Orange, and Garrett.
And lights go, and they're off and away, and that is Brochin out first, and TTR gets a massive power slide, and as it looks round like Nate and Shattered Compass gets side by side around the outside. How's that going to turn out for the drivers here? It looks like TTR's going to lose out. Yes, he does, as they go through turn 2 now. Oh wow, what a start. What a dismal start for the championship leader as he goes in, and that looks like Orange doing a bit of a dive bomb down into the new section of the track. Wow. Oh, and a bit of a lock up there. That looks like Debug as he's coming around this tight hairpin now onto the short straight that leads onto this huge long straight, and Brochin has such a lead as they go out onto it. They are really giving it everything as they go down, and I wonder if Brochin's thinking, I got to get out of this slipstream almost immediately, as that looks like Garrett and Orange side by side as they come down the straight into the braking zone. How will Garrett deal with it? Will he push him out wide? Brakes late. Orange holds him around the outside. He's right by the rear tire of Garrett right now, but now he's going to have the advantage as he goes down the inside. Brakes just as late as Garrett did, and now he's got the advantage. So come round. Both cars holding onto it. Orange gives him plenty of space as they come out of the corner. And then side by side again, and just behind them, that looks like Ardwick fighting with Bumble, maybe, I believe, in that Toro Rosso. I'd have to get the timing screen up to say that for sure. And that looks like, they're still side by side as they're going. Orange is not giving up there, and round the outside goes Garrett. That is brave. He has to take off the road there. Oh no, that was the other Ferrari of Debug versus TTR. And then Orange looks like he's losing 2 positions there, even to Ardwick. Wow, what a start for these guys.
This has been action-packed. It's still fighting here. It looks like Ardwick is pressuring Garrett from behind there. He's gotten over on Orange on that straightaway there and pressuring him really significantly.
And look at this. Brochin 1.7 seconds in the lead. He is absolutely flying. And for the tyre graphics or anything to go by, he is on a soft tyre and looking to make his move away. And that is Garrett O'Brien leading the second half of the field, really. And they are not giving up on his position. Ardwick is all over him right now. This is the turn of speed that we've seen from Ardwick at points, but never really seen transgress further than the first few corners of a race. And look at him, he's hounding him.
Yeah, he really is. We've got like 2 mini packs here. We got the first group of the first top 6, and then the top 10, I think, following right behind there.
Yeah, and that looks like Ardwick almost gives him a little love tap there just in front, and you can see Brochin. That is Debug. He goes
big
over
spin.
the curb, I think. Huge spin. That is a lot of rear tire damage. That will not be doing his race any favors at all, and he is dropped right down to almost the back of the grid as we go on board with Ardwick. Brakes late, just holds on to it, and he is now under pressure from Orange, who took the racier line. Less resistance there, faster lap time, and here we go. There is no DRS just yet, and just behind Orange is Bumblebee, looking to make a move. He is hounding as well. There is no let up so far in this back group. As we go back with the leaders, and this is Shattered Compass, 2.8 seconds off the lead on lap 2 already. What is he doing? What is he doing? What has Brochin put in that fuel tank? He has come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, it's incredible pace. Well, the rest of them are all around the similar pace from one another within 1 second, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens once DRS gets fully enabled here. But yeah, it's Brochin's pace is incredible.
It really is. And on board with TTR as he looks forward, and he's got Nate in front of him, Shattered Compass in front of him. They're the podium sitters right now, just in front. And then that looks like Leclerc. He's going for a move on Bumble round the outside as Bumble went a little bit off track there through the S's. Oh, not quite. No, not quite on the leaderboards. We're having a look at his teammate now, swinging through this midfield section. Oh, it's such a great track, this. Onto the old start, finish straight. Is it? No, is that the old start? It looks like the old start, finish straight. Or is that the new start, finish straight? That's the new one. Sorry, my mistake, everyone. My mistake. So Broadchen leads ahead of Shadow Compass and Nate Delta. TTR down in 4th, NDF in 5th, Garrett Bright up to 6th, Ardwick in 7th, Orange in 8th position, Bumble in 9th, Leclerc 10th, RT in 11th, Debug 12th, and then Cracker Cold One down in 13th position. Already 34 seconds off the pace.
Yeah, this is it's been so interesting to watch these top, second to fifth position here. They're all really tight bunched together, and it just feels like one of them is ready to find the right opportunity to make a move or conserve tires here for a little bit. But it's interesting to see how close they are staying all together.
Absolutely. This is something that you got to keep an eye out for. And this race could turn at any moment. We've seen these been long burns in the past where tire strategy, keeping the tires fresh for as long as possible, trying different stops, maybe a 2-stop versus a 1-stop or a 3-stop, an absolute flying 3-stop. As Nate gets DRS open, this is around the time, lap 3 on Shattered Compass. TTR got DRS as well. NDF does not have DRS. And this top pack now looking to close the gap down 4.5 seconds already over 3 laps to Broadchen, who has just disappeared already.
It looks like Ardwick overtook Orange there, I believe, as we were watching this happen. So there's some action still happening in the back between them.
They're going for it. Ardwick, 7th position. There's a great start for him. This is what he needs. He needs to get some points on the board. He just needs to get a race finished, really. Keep himself clean. Get to the end. As they're coming through the loop. Onto the Wellington straight. Down towards Brooklands. This is going to be a good opportunity for Nate Delta. Just 0.4 of a second behind Shattered Compass. Doesn't try any moves. All he's trying right now is just to see where Shattered is, and Shattered takes the really wide line there through Luffield onto Woodcote. And I wonder if Nate's thinking that's an opportunity for me, but Shattered Compass might just be keeping his apex speeds high there, taking a longer line around the outside, maybe trying to put less pressure on the tires as Nate taking just the tighter lines. And just 0.2 of a second as they come into the curves here. Maggots, Beckett's, and Chappell. And he is tucked up right underneath. DRS goes off, and look at the speed he has round the outside. That's got to be a sure done thing, surely.
Absolutely. It's slam dunk there, and I think they all knew it. And now it's, can Shattered stay alive from TTR behind him and still keep pressuring Nate, or is he going to get swallowed up there, or is it going to be round and round we go of the DRS trains and circles?
We will find out. This is a great little scrap here for second place. These three separated within less of a second. Wow. From 5.2 behind Broadchen, he's still pulling away as you've got, look at this, Ardwick fallen behind Orange at some point during this last lap and is now starting to think, okay, right, what do I do to get him back? Because I had the speed on him at the beginning. I need to get that speed now. As both Shattered Compass and TTR have the DRS open as they come down into Brooklands. This famous left hand is so long. Car feels like it's in there forever. And especially here in Luffield, the right-hand corner, Shattered Compass still behind. And even, really, when you think about how high downforce these cars are, they're able to keep so close together. So close.
Yeah, especially through some of these corners where they're like flat out or nearly flat out for most, or just a small lift, and to be so tight behind one another, it's tricky, but at the same time, so impressive to see.
And what's going on with their tire life right now? What are these drivers thinking as they're sat there following close in the dirty air, behind in corners like this, where they're so tough on the tires? Oh, as we see Shattered Compass DRS open, he got a good exit there. into Stowe corner on the inside, and that was a great move. That's a classic Silverstone move. As TTR looks up the inside of Nate, and Nate goes wide and locks up a little bit.
So that was such a clean overtake there from Shattered. Such a clean overtake. Really well done. Really simply, a lot of respect from all the drivers there from one another, and I suspect that's not the last overtake we're going to see there today.
Probably not. So the question goes back. You're fighting in a pack like this. What's going through your brain? What's going through your driver brain?
Yeah, well, it's how many, how many pit stops are we looking at? How many different tire compounds are we going to be going through? One stop versus a two stop. It's Silverstone, so it's known for eating tires, and how much are you going to push on your exits versus conserve? Maybe sit behind someone until, an easier opportunity happens, or passing, overtaking on the straights is not as bad for your tires there, but you got to stay competitive if you want to push to set yourself up to overtake on the straights. So it'd be interesting to see how that continues to progress, or doesn't, or do they slow down, and who started on mediums versus softs.
As we say that, Borchin is 7.5 seconds up on lap 6, so he has got some real pace there. He hasn't got anyone fighting against him, and that's probably the reason these guys are dropping back a little bit. NDF, TTR, Nate, and Shattered Compass all in this little bundle right here. Maybe NDF just staying back just a little bit to give himself some space. And these guys are giving no quarter to each other. They're absolutely flying and pushing themselves to the limit, and the one at the front is dragging them both along.
These two need to get a room. Come on. Hurry this along.
TTR.
Fast as if we're so slow.
There you go. It's a little bit of jive talk between them all. TTR saying, hurry up. That's my competitor up front. I want to be beating him. And Shatter's going, if you got the pace, why aren't you past us? Which is a very true thing to say. Absolutely. If you're faster than us, get the hell through. Instead, you've been there for a while as Bumble goes into the pits quite early. What was that? Lap 7 of this race. That is not a good place to start. Maybe soft tires at the beginning and destroyed them.
Or repair. Could be repair as well. Oh.
Nate goes wide. He goes onto the grass. Will this be an opportunity here for TTR? He is just saying these two lovebirds need to get a room. I know he's got back out onto the old start, finish straight, and he's going to have a slightly slower starting Nate in front of him. His corner might equalize them a little bit, but that looks like a lot of grip from TTR there as he comes down towards this. The S is here, and he just has to let off the throttle a bit early. And really early here, trying to cut underneath. Is this a good exit? It looks like it. 170 miles an hour, 180 DRS opens, 200 miles an hour. He's going to go around the outside, maybe it looks like. Brakes hard, no dice. As that looks like Nate, they're side by side on the exit of Star. What is going on?
Pretty wide.
Wow. That is a lot of cars in a small space, and Nate loses that, and TTR goes through. What a move in the mutiny that was. 3 cars on the exit of Snow.
Aye, boy, that was hair raising. It's amazing all 3 of them came out unscathed.
That was a great opportunity as TTR knocks into the back of Shattered Compass. That might be a little bit of damage between them, just a fraction, and that is going to slow down his progress here. And Nate is right back onto the back of them. But so far it is Borchin ahead of Shattered, ahead of TTR, ahead of Nate. And Nate looks like he's going down the inside. And this is the 3 most experienced drivers on the field, the 4 most experienced drivers on the field, really in those top 4 positions. It's Nate staying on the inside, round the outside. That looks like no dice to me, though. Gone.
Yeah, and it looks like all this fighting has backed them up into NDF, and Garrett doesn't look to be too far away, with only compared to where they were at the beginning of that race. So it'll be interesting to see how this keeps pushing. But it's certainly quite the show, and now we've got a new party to the mix here.
Yeah, we do indeed. NDF, welcome along. He is right now tucked up. If he was hanging back to save his tires, he might not be anymore, because if they start backing him up as well, like you said, they could back you up into Garrett, or Garrett could catch up with a bit of that clear air. And TTR goes, ducks on the inside, ducks around the outside, puts on the brakes. These are going to be side by side. They're looking like they are on the exit. TTR just squeezes through. Woo. And into the braking zone they go. Oh. and he is up into seconds. Maybe Shattered regretted saying what he said, but that is still a great move there. TTR up in second, Shattered into third, Nate fourth, NDF fifth, Garrett O'Brien sixth, Orange Boy seventh. He has dropped Bumble and Hardwick. Oh, as Bumblebee has gone back in the pits again and just gone out, so he's down there in 11th position.
And Debug slowly working his way back up after his big issue. I think he went all the way from 11th, and now he's back up to 8th. So he's been putting in the work back there as well.
He had, and don't forget his qualifying position was pretty handy. Pretty handy indeed. He was up in 6th with his qualifying. About a second off the pace from the fastest lap in qualifying, but that's still pretty handy around here over such a long lap. As we go through, this is lap 9 out of 26, and we're finally on board with the leader after he disappeared in the first few corners. And that is a beautiful moment for him. This is Borchen's speciality, just get out in the front and disappear. Nate Delta hovering. When does he put on the foot on the gas? And that looks like it's a little bit later than Shattered Compass, but DRS will give him that. And Shattered Compass is out of DRS range of TTAR already. So this is Nate round the outside again. This looks a bit cleaner. Will he cut him off? It looks like he does, and Shattered has fallen down again. And Shattered going in the pits, maybe. No, I still. Oh yeah, he is. And that is NDF. Now tucked up behind Nate. This is a great opportunity for him. You've got to see what Shattered Compass is going to do in that pit stop, though. He's got to get a quick turnaround, get the lap in and out lap as fast as he can, and try and use the undercut to his advantage if he wants to stay in the podium positions.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see where everybody else will be pitting, if they're going to be feeling this undercut coming, or if they're going to try to wait it out a couple more laps and maybe try to go to a one-stop. It seems that mostly everyone probably started with mediums here to be this far along. I would say so. If they can go to softs next, it'll be interesting to see how much faster the lap time starts getting to as the fuel levels start dropping.
Yeah, and Shattered with a 28.4. Try and remember that for his pit stop time. That is the benchmark right now. And then we're going to watch his gap. So he is out in the field. Where is he on the map? Where is he? Where is he on the timing board? He's up at the top right now. That is just AMS2 things. So we're going to see, but Borchen now with a 134.1 on his old tires. This is a good showing from the captain. And there you go, Nate Delta, 2.2 seconds behind the guy he has been fighting with for so long. And that small advantage, breaking the DRS, has helped him a lot. As we go back on board, and here you go, Borchen, race leader, cruising at Mac Chicken, and Nate is in the pits. Let's see what his time is. Like he's followed by NDF. Bit of a lockup, bit of some smoke there. There's some cars retired already. That is Cracker Cold One, Megan Beam, and Bumble as well. Just remember, what was it, 28 something? 28.4. So many pit stops right now. Debug, NDF, Orange, who's got the shortest stop, 27.4. So a whole second quicker for NDF. Orange, what's Orange? 28.0. So Shattered's Compass time wasn't the best so far. A whole second quicker by NDF. Debug, 28.7. So where is Shattered Compass? 29 seconds behind the leader. That is the gap you're looking at. You want that number to come down. So that means he is 19 seconds behind second place person, which looks like TTAR. So on board with Garrett O'Brien here. Smoothly round he goes, through Maggots, into Beckett's, as we go back on board with the race leader through Stowe, where we've seen so much great action today. One of the great overtaking corners as Borchen goes into the pits. So he might have spotted some lap times from some other drivers on the track and thought, this is my moment to pit. This is it. He's got to get it done.
And it should be noted on the leaderboard, it looks like that it has glitched out. So all the when the last time everyone's pit, that is not correct. Some people still haven't pit yet. So I think it had a reset function that happened there. So ignore that.
Yeah, ignore it, but that is TTR in the pits. So Garrett O'Brien through second position. He might even pop out into the lead depending on how Brochen gets through. It looks like he might be. Let's just say if that's true, he might be leading this race right now thinking, right, okay, first 3 races of the season. How have I, yeah, he is in the lead on old tires compared to Brochen's brand new tires. 31 second stop for TTR. That is very slow. So yeah, he's got to be thinking, right, how does my strategy play out now? After the first 3 races, what have I learned?
Yeah, there's so much to try to figure out with these tire compounds, and I know that the Ferrari strategy hasn't been working that well. They've been kind of keeping him out a little late. We'll see if if they've learned that lesson yet or not, and try not to stay out again too long on these tires. And it's a 2 times tire wear, and he's definitely thinking 1 stop at this point.
Yeah,
and I think the other drivers, some of them are as well, but it's a tall order. It will not be an easy task taken if they've got softs all the way to the end, which I would assume that a lot of them do.
Yeah, you would assume that they do. And he's got Brochen in his mirrors, but that won't be affecting him too bad. He knows he's out of sync. That won't be a driver he'll be feeling amazing amount of pressure from, but he will be thinking, wow, that guy's already stopped and he's right behind me. That is where I wanted to be. But he won't be feeling a great deal of pressure. He'll just be looking back going, okay, that's that situation. What's the gap to everyone else right now? That is my race. And let's see what I can recover from my, 8th position qualifying. 1.8 seconds, I think, about off the pace of Brochen. So he knows there's an extreme pace deficit. That isn't right now his biggest concern. He's just got to stay consistent, and that's what wins championships. There's no point pushing the car, especially if you're looking at 1.8 seconds, you're probably thinking setup. You're probably thinking setup difference. There's not that much between these drivers ultimately. If you saw the... and this looks like Brochen is going to make a move soon. It might not even fight it. Brochen might just hang back a little bit, wait for a really safe opportunity. Yeah, he is lifting off early. He's feathering the throttle. And there you go, the grip is there immediately on exit. He's out of the dirty air of the car in front, staying offset. Smart driving there from the season 5 champion, and onto the back straight here. You can see his line, just so much more grip. Gets the DRS. Garrett moves as we go on board with TTAR and Nate Delta fighting. And in front of them is Shattered Compass. Remember, he was, when Brochen hadn't pitted, was 30 seconds off the lead, and now he is just 10. That was a good undercut from Shattered Compass right there. Just behind him, TTR, and just behind that, Nate Delta, who we're on board with right now, braking hard into these slow corners, and the traction is so tough here. Rear tires have got to be screaming.
Yeah, especially coming around that corner, they really get put under pressure pretty significantly there. And while we were watching this fight happen, we did see Brochen did overtake Garrett there. So that didn't take too long for him to get past that. Those new tires.
No, not indeed. There you go. TTR fastest lap right now. So Nate Delta, if he's keeping up with him, this is good going. DRS gets open. He'll be being dragged along by that DRS, some free speed, and he'll want to keep that for as long as he can down the straights.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell that they're not really fully pushing right now. They're kind of getting these tires up to speed and not letting them get too worn out too fast, because they've got a long trek ahead of them if they're going to go for the 1 stop. But at the same time, right behind one another, so it's hard not to push a little bit.
Yeah. What are you thinking? Like, oh, do I just let off around this corner a little bit, give him a little bit of grief, save my tire? But what if he gets a better exit? Like, all these tricks playing on the driver's mind. And if he gets past me, well, that's extra work I have to use my tires to do. Artie with a 28-second 8. TTR moves to the outside. Nate Delta down the inside. Will he fight it? I don't think so too much. Lets him through. And now Nate goes, okay, I'll be up into 5th right now. As Brochen goes 33.3. 7 tenths faster than the rest of the field. Wow.
Guess those new tires are working pretty well for him.
Yeah. When you got that speed in qualifying, it's hard. Even when you're leading this race and there's no one really around you, he just feels tempted to just keep pushing it. Just keep pushing it. No, Sebastian, we don't need the fastest lap. Stop.
When the car feels that good, why stop?
When you've got an opportunity, you've got to let the horses play. As we go on board with TTR DRS Open, what a great tool this has been in F1. Controversy around it saying fake overtakes, but if it helps you stay in touch with the car in front, I'm all for it. Might be a little powerful. Might be a little powerful here, though.
Yeah, it is interesting how much more powerful it is on certain tracks compared to others, ones that require more lower downforce, and versus like Silverstone, which requires a little more downforce, or Suzuka, they can be even more powerful, the DRS, because of how the cars are really designed for those higher downforce needs. And I find that quite interesting how different that can be in a race. Oh!
And that says TTR, but no, yeah, it changed to orange. We were on board with TTR, and that is orange. Huge snap.
What in the world?
Yeah, what in the world happened there, orange? He was doing so well in that position and has dropped back, and you can see him just falling down the timing charts right now. 51 seconds, 52 seconds, 53 seconds. This is not what he would be expecting right now at this point in the race, and this is going to hamper his efforts for good points that he was on for. As he go back on board, these two are just not giving up each other's space, are they?
No, not at all. And by the way, that gap that Brauchen has set between Garrett is over 10 seconds. I think Ferrari needs to pit their number one Ferrari right now. They're playing those games again. Not worth it.
This is the Ferrari strategy. Stay out as long as possible for freshest tires on the end. But right now, and we don't know what it's going to play. Maybe Ferrari knows something we don't. And these cars might be struggling a little bit, as especially the front left-hand tire going around all of these right-handers might start to suffer. And so there we go, TTR within half a second of the car in front, which is Nate. And there you go. That is Shattered Compass right behind Garrett O'Brien on those old tires. Got to be feeling pretty ropey right now. And these are guys he was just 2 seconds behind. But what, like 9 laps ago? Not even that, 7 laps ago? And yeah, he has to give up that position and just let them through and be thinking, what is Ferrari doing? But maybe it'll save me at the end of this race.
They're trying to get a free draft out of him.
Side by side, TTR's going to go on there. These guys, they are every time into stow. It is drama with these two, and they are giving everything. And Nate keeps it up in front. In the background, I can just see Garrett O'Brien finally going into the pits alongside Orange, who is a lap down or so now. And TTR doesn't gain that position, but almost went into the back of Nate Delta there and is all over the back of him like a bad rash. If he thought Shattered and Nate needed a room, I think they might need a restraining order after this instead.
Yeah, I think Garrett was a little bit of the cork in the bottle there, and then just it was that little bit of spark that almost set that whole thing up into a big explosion, just from the kind of everyone's different pace and drafting and DRS and four cars packed into one small spot.
That was all the excitement that they needed. And look, you can see that car bouncing around. Maybe some rebounds needing there as they go out onto the old start-finish straight. Great historic track. If you haven't raced the historic tracks in AMS2 or the historic cars, go back and race them. So many different versions of all of these tracks. It's such a pleasure to drive around. You get to do all the favorite layouts that you know. My favorites are the early ones where you had to go around bridge and all that kind of stuff. Oh, it was great. That was my era. That was my era. As TTR on the back of Nate Delta right there. DRS is going to ping open. There you go. Nate stays on the inside. TTR goes around the outside. And through he goes before they even get into the braking zone. That's how powerful the DRS was there with a good exit. And now Shattered Compass just ahead of him. That is second position that he is chasing down. And what is it? Just over a second there. Shattered Compass doing a great job. The two captains, 1 and 2, they used to be teammates at one point in the captains season 10, I believe. Great stuff. And who's this? This looks like NDF. What a good position this has been. 6th position, a minute off the lead now. Something has happened to him because he was fighting with these guys pretty hard. And that looks like Garrett O'Brien just behind him. So, Nate Delta, he's holding on to the back right now. If I could say his name anymore, I would. Nate Delta, we are lap 18 out of 26, so we are about 3/4 of the way, two-thirds of the way there. Borchin, Shattered Compass, TTR, they're your podium. Nate Delta just holding on right now. Debug in 5th, it looks like NDF in 6th, Garrett O'Brien 7th. No, Garrett O'Brien has just got through. Great timing there. NDF down into 7th. Those new tyres for Garrett O'Brien must be feeling pretty handy right now. And he must be wondering why he wasn't on them earlier on in the race.
Yeah, and the one thing I've been noticing since that pit is how the has become overcast and the track temperatures are dropping nearly a tenth nearly every 5 to 10 seconds. They just continually keep dropping. So it's clear to me that the one-stoppers are going to have some great success here. The ones who were planning to two-stop are going to be struggling a little bit. Shattered Compass is going into the pit for his second stop right now. So it's, yeah, I think that was the right call to do the one stop. And I think Ferrari should have probably pitted him about 3 laps sooner to be in these softs longer because they're not going to have a problem with him.
They might not, but Borchin, leader, 1:33.3, so that's almost just only a little bit quicker than he was a few laps ago, but that is still hounding him. Shattered Compass, 28.0, so improved a little bit on his last pit stop. There we go, TTR up into 2nd, but now they've got to make a decision. 1 stop or 2 stop, 1 stop or 2 stop. One of them's gone for a 2 stop, and now they're looking at the gap to Shattered Compass, and that will be their radar. They will only have a second or two to make that decision as they all cross the line. As Shattered Compass, after he does his first flying lap on those tires, they'll see the difference that he's making against them, and that will be their point to make that call. But Garrett O'Brien pretty much ended up on where the 2 stoppers are because he's on the same piece of tarmac right now as Shattered Compass. So these guys really, when you think about it, identical times so far. They've won the 2 stop for these guys.
Yeah, Shattered has had really great pace this whole race. You know, he's been at the top of his game this week, and I think it's been showing. And I think that anyone's got a shot at making a 2-stop work effectively, it is him, because of the pace he is putting and can put into the car, and the consistency he's been showing too. That's increased over the season. Also, Debug is in 4th position now. He pitted early, so I have to imagine 2-stop for him as well. But he's doing well. I mean, you know, I know Shattered's coming for him, but it's quite a performance.
Yeah, he is. Great recovery. He's on the same lap yet, pitted about the same time as all these guys in front. So this is a good recovery drive right now from his spin in like lap 1 or lap 2 really early. And you can see Garrett is thrashing those tires, just getting it just over the bumps. You can see the car start to squirrel around just a fraction, and that means he's pushing. That means he's pushing pretty hard. Let's go and watch Borchin from the outside. Smooth as butter. And that's what you'd expect from a guy going through these S's. Look at that. And he's got to be thinking 13 seconds. I'm in the lead. I got 6 laps remaining. Mwah. Thank you very much. It's unlikely he's going to put it in the wall. He is not that kind of driver. Once won a championship by finishing on the podium every single race. That's the kind of consistency you're looking at there in the first place.
And his pace, that gap hasn't changed for like 4 or 5 laps now. It's been consistently at 13 seconds. And TTR is going to be pushing as much as he can within reason for his tires at this point, because Nate is right behind him.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. You've got someone hounding you, so you can't just cruise at home. They got the gap back to Shattered Compass right now. Orange Boy with the fastest lap, 33.1. Not something we say often, but what? Yeah, that's a great time in there. He is a few laps down in 11th position, but it doesn't matter right now. He's taking that fastest lap from someone else.
Yeah, 5 laps remaining. These guys have been on these tires for Nate for 10 laps and TTR for 9. So the softs will be starting to show their weaknesses at this point. Like they will be not hosed, but they will be starting to feel it now, and it'll be interesting to see how that changes or not.
You will think exactly that. The front left will be struggling just a little bit. They'll start to ease off in certain corners. 27.9 for Debug, pretty similar to Shattered, gained a 10th on him. But for Debug with his second stop. So where did he come out? It looks like he's come out into 8th position on fresh tires. So he has got to put in some qualifying laps as Ardwick is up into 7th. This is the kind of race that we want to see. Debug maybe down again. Let's see if that's a timing glitch. So Broadcham first, TTR second, Nate Delta third. Gap is just resting just a little bit, about 1.5 seconds-ish between them. Got to wonder if Nate's conserving, maybe putting his, we haven't talked about this yet so far, recharge, the ERS, the deployment of the battery. Can play a big point into these lap times. These drivers setting fastest laps are probably using a little bit more battery on that lap and maybe not as much in the following laps as they have to recharge it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's only so many laps left, and with DRS and getting sometimes can kind of go back and forth with position changes, but you want to make sure the last 3 laps you have that you can make it work for you in that way, and it can create a significant advantage, especially with the amount of straights that Silverstone has, and it can really help you close that gap.
So we're looking at these two. They've been on our screen the entire race. Nate Delta in 3rd position, TTR in 2nd. The gap has actually come down a little bit to Broadcham. So Broadcham maybe just starting to think about bringing it home, and these two thinking about not giving each other any more position than they need to. And Shattered Compass up into 4th. So it looks like he's got past, well, he might have got past a few people there. And then he is 29 seconds, so that is his gap. This is Debug on those fresh tires against NDF. As he came out of the pits, Ardwick has slipped back, it looks like, and he's gonna, he hasn't opened his DRS as he's going down the straight here. Brakes hard into Brooklands, takes the inside. That was easy stuff with all that extra grip. 1 lap tires.
I think he was out of the detection zone. I think that's why he didn't get the DRS, because he closed that gap so fast to him. You can see the gap he's already made in 3 corners.
Phenomenal when you don't even need the DRS. It's just all the tire difference between them. Gap now coming down. TTR just within a second. So Nate Delta's thinking, okay, what were we saying? Last 4 laps. You called it. Gary. Last 4 laps. I want to be in a good position here. I want to have rested my tires, cooled them down a little bit, made sure I didn't overstress that front left, get my battery in a good position. And what is he doing? He's got his fishing rod out and he's just reeling it in. You can see that right hand working, just absolutely twiddling. Reeling him in as Garrett O'Brien uses those fresh tires to great advantage now. 6 laps old into the 32s. DRS is open for Nate Delta here. This is lap 23. Brakes hard. He's every corner now. These soft tires, they got to be thinking. And 32 for the for Debug, his teammate. They are stretching their legs now, those Ferraris. The horses are galloping. Is it too late? What is it? 2.5 seconds to Shattered Compass in front. I was going to say, with Nate Delta, every opportunity, every lappy, every corner, he goes a little bit faster than TTR in front of him. And you've got to see his tyre wears dripping, down. Let's get through Chapel Curve onto the hanger straight. Is he within DRS? I think he is. Yeah, you can see him reeling him in. Down to 4.3 of a second. Brake hard. Use up some of those tires. 3 laps remaining. I'm excited for the end of this race. It looks like these two are going to be as close as it gets. Who's going to risk it more?
Yeah, and these tires they have, they're just got to be on their, they're pushing it, and there's no way that they're not. Oh, got a big lockup and spin from NDF here.
That is indeed, that'll be disappointing. So disappointing. That was out onto one of the straights. I wonder if he just maybe tried pressing DRS a little bit early, if he had it, or maybe just start to lose the back of those back tires as they overheat and get stressed. And back on 4. This is lap 24. Back on with Nate. 0.4 of a seconds. Like we said, battery charged in the right place. Has he got enough in the tank right now? As they come out onto the old start-finish straight. I love it. I love it. Maggots. Through to Beckett's. Through to Chapel Curve. TTR taking the wider line. Maybe trying to save his tyres. Here we go. Lap 24. TTR takes the outside line. He loves that line. Nate Delta with the inside and DRS. And through he goes. 2 laps remaining. That is great stuff. And he's taking his opportunity right now. Can he run away with this? TTR looks like he's going down the inside. What a late braking move.
Wow. Sent it from outfield.
Yeah, he sent that from 3 postcodes away. And he made it work somehow with those tires. And Nate Delta's got to be thinking, what the hell happened there? He didn't even have DRS. And then through again as they go through the infield section into the loop. Brake hard. They're struggling with that front left. You can hear it. You can hear it screaming. Nate Delta on the power as early as they can. This is lap 25. We have 2 laps remaining. The leader Brochen is out and away. 15 seconds in the lead. Nate has DRS again. Oh, he doesn't make the pass. He stays close behind him.
How are Titar's tires still existing right now after that move? I'm still, my brain does not compute in terms of what just happened back there and how they're still functioning tires.
They may not be functioning. Their times may be dropping. Shattered Compass has gained 5 seconds on them in the last few laps. These guys are giving it everything as they go through. Nate seemingly have a tiny bit more grip. Takes the wider line, comes through. This is nice and tight from Nate Delta. He's got to be thinking they're within half a second of each other on the power. Will Nate have DRS? Yes, he does. Absolutely. You got the back marker moving right out the way there, Nate. Is he going to make a dive? No, he doesn't. He's holding. He's waiting for the last lap, maybe. Is he waiting for the last lap? Hail Mary move. Will he send it back? He can't make that move happen that TTR did to him just 1 lap ago. And we're coming on to the final lap. Brochen is leading. He is likely guaranteed to be this winner. And Nate Delta might sense his opportunity here. No. Farm curve. Through into Village. This tight right-hander. Brake. There we go. Nate Delta thinking about the inside through the loop here. Not so much. He's going to be close enough for DRS. This is a great opening here. There you go. Down the inside. TTR stays really close to the grass. Nate goes through. This is it. Final lap for second position. Nate goes through. Into Brooklands. Keeps it so far. Into Luffield. Still keeps it. Wow, TTR's late on the brakes there and might drop behind him just a little bit. This might cost him. As he go back onto the straight, 0.4 of a second. What have they got left? Have they got any battery left to fight at all? It's just 0.5 of a second in it as they come in. This is battle for second position as we were watching Brochen. He is our race leader. This has been a great race for him. Commanding victory so far. Commanding lead of this race.
Running out of fuel, man.
As Hardwick runs out of fuel, TTR has got one last opportunity. The DRS is open. Nate takes the inside. TTR goes round the outside. Shuts the DRS. Is this going to work? It may not. He cuts back under. He's through. He's through on the inside.
Whoa.
Can he make it? Brochen wins the race, but TTR side by side with Nate. That's touching almost front wheel to back wheel there as they come round. Nate's going to try. As they come round, he goes out wide. There's so much more speed. Oh, he's to the line. I saw that dip to like 0.2 of a second. We got to watch the timing screen. Shattered Compass in 4th. Garrett O'Brien recovered up to 5th. Wow. NDF, is he going to get back into 6th? That would have been a great recovery after that spin. Brochen cruising. He had no idea what happened behind him. That was the most serene race for him.
Yeah, a little boring, but I'll take it.
We disagree, Brochen.
That was such a tight battle between Nate Delta and Titar. I mean, wow, how crazy was that? Like by the end and trying to, withhold the DRS till certain points and undercutting. So tight, so close.
That is what we love to see. It wasn't for the win, it was for second position. So important to both of these drivers who want to make a move in the championship. They would have lost some points to this guy. Phenomenal drive today, so commanding. We see it sometimes in the mutiny when a driver just gets into their zone up in front and they're just untouchable. Untouchable, and that's what Borchardt was today. As he crosses the line, race results 25 points to him in the Renault team. TTR in second, 0.14 second in front of Nate Delta. That's as close as you get. Shattered Compass in fourth position there. Great two-stop. Garrett O'Brien made the one-stop work, fastest lap, but was it a little too late? Leclerc, NDF. Oh, NDF with some time penalties, so dropped him behind his teammate, but still a good race there for Mercedes. RT in 8th position. Orange in 9th, 2 laps down.
All right, for driver standings, we got TTR in first place at 72, Garrett at second at 55, and then Nate Delta at 48, followed by Shattered Compass. Brauchen moving up 4 positions to 5th.
Yeah.
Then NDF at 6th, Old Boy, followed by Debug, Leclerc, Orange, RD, Crack a Cold One, Rick Outwell, Cloning, Mr. Mouse, and J Rocks.
Oh, I am still catching my breath as we go through that. And Sauber lead by the skin of their teeth, just 10 points ahead of Ferrari. I think Debug not making the finish line there. Looked like he didn't make the finish line. Might have hurt them quite a lot. Renault up with 2 wins now to their names, up into 3rd position. They are the movers and shakers. Mercedes with a great haul up into 3rd, ahead of Red Bull, who you would not have said that at the beginning of the season with Kumsum and Nate Delta at the helm. And then McLaren in 6th, Haas in 7th position, Toro Rosso in 8th with 2 points, and then Williams with 9th. How upsetting for them. Thank you so much for being here for this fantastic race, everyone. If you haven't already, please give us a like and subscribe. It just helps us know that you're actually watching and loving us. We will give back as much as we can, and we will see you next week for the next race. Thank you so much.
Well done, Brauchen. Holy shit, Nate. Son of a bitch. That was rough. I'm sweating. I'm dying over here.
Thank you, guys. That was nice. Wow, I can't believe you got that pace with 1 stall. That's crazy.
Good job on the first lap, everybody. That's the cleanest one so far, I think. It was spicy there in the midfield. That first spin was fun. What do I have to debug?
If Debug hadn't retired, he'd have the fastest lap.